Waiting for October is an upcoming queer supernatural audio drama series from the creators of Moonbase Theta Out. The setting is the world of October, a place of monsters, a place of fiction, a place of others born from the need of our stories. It's a world that's wild and transformative, where gill folks live in the lakes and wares run through the city streets, while kaiju roar beyond the mountains and the moon always fills the midnight sky.
Speaking of literature, you said you'd come back to that bedtime story?
Did I now?
Don't you play with me. Not about stories.
All right. I'll see if I can give you some answers. Nobody really knows the how of the written worlds, the places those stories brought into being. But it seems like things come when there's a need for them. So when imagination grew and needed to express itself, there had to be a place that it could draw from. A real existing place. A whole world one step away where their fiction could have its own truth. One world wasn't able to hold it all. But of all the worlds, October might be the oldest.
I forgot you called it October. I love that.
That's one of the names. That's what humans called it when they first crossed over. October might be the oldest because it serves one of the deepest needs. It is a world that's made of monsters.
Here we go.
October was born from the shadows, from the silhouette of bare branches trembling in the wind. The first time someone held their breath at an unexpected noise in the dead of night. October began from a heartbeat pounding, from that moment in a dream when you need to run, but you just can't run. From the gasping awake before your eyes adjust and everything is an unidentifiable blur. It is a world seen through a funhouse mirror, strange and singular, unusual and unnatural compared to your existence. Not based in nightmare or evil, though they've been read as such, but the inexplicable, the wild mystery lurking in the woods or at the ocean floor, or in the apartment upstairs that you're certain wasn't rented. We are the monstrous exposition.
Oh, it's we now?
We as
I
in...
like the idea of a place made out of stories. Do they carry around a pen and paper to write their way out of plot holes? Or a laptop? Are there laptops in the monster world? Do they have Wi-Fi? Asking the important questions.
There are places as modern as this world and places that are not so much, depending on the tale they've been telling. October tends to ebb and flow with that need, changing the background, the age of things, the taste of the air. A path you've traveled 100 times might twist in the opposite direction, and you wind up somewhere completely new. Your story might be changed without being aware, some force you've never felt before pulling the focus, and you're carried along in the wake.
Curiouser and curiouser. So every story is just being written right around you, minute by minute? Even a monster must get kind of muddled up by that.
Sometimes.
Okay, my brain is starting to catch up. In this other world, all of these things are just like boring, right? Every day. Of course there's a monster on the lake and Bigfoot. He's probably some kind of park ranger. And there's Mothmen, moth persons, and maybe a chupacabra or two out in them hills, and you're like, honey, the jackalopes are getting into the garden again. We'd better build up that fence, and I guess, I don't know, a zombie might sit next to you on the subway, and it's all fine, and...
I've never seen a zombie, but all the rest, sure. It's really pretty great. There are definitely chupacabra and at least a Mothman. The jackalopes are pretty cute as long as you're careful during mating season. Oh, and there's the wilds. Packs of were creatures of every sort, wolves and bears and boars, and even were-kangaroo. The gill folks in the rivers and lakes and seas, like the one your friend thought he saw, and nix and selkies and the kata and mermaids.
Mermaids are monsters?
Cities full of monsters, gargoyles working construction and gremlins in the machinery, bugbears and trolls and the lindworm in the forest. Wild kaiju beyond the mountains, but you hear them no matter how far away. Skripikut and giant bugs in the desert, the moonkin and the wampahoofus and the puka, and I know at least one skeleton by name. Though, to be fair, he's not originally from October.
I'm gonna stop you before you get to the Jabberwock and the Jubjub bird. I think I get the picture. Yeah, and it's getting past my bedtime. Here, snuggle in again.
I'm right with you.
Waiting for October is funding now for our first season. Support us as we tell our monstrous tale and get all kinds of amazing perks and thanks for making the show possible. Find all the info at crowdfunder.com/waitingforoctober. That's crowdfundr.com/waitingforoctober. Now through June 2nd, cross over and become part of our story.